On tonight's episode, we talk about Black Adam, the new DC movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
And so much other pop culture news from the week. Okay, Black Adam. The long-awaited Black Adam came out. We saw it. Super fun.
Yes, Black Adam, starring The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
The character, straight from the books, the Captain Marvel books, the Fawcett comic books, DC comic books, and it was long-awaited. It was intense.
Mm-hmm.
Was it? I don't know. What you say? I'll say I talk after you talk.
Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. We've got a new location. They managed to introduce a new character and do an origin movie that didn't really feel like an origin movie, or rather tell an origin story in a way that didn't feel like your standard origin movie, which I'm really tired of. So this was really great to see. Also, we got to see some other characters like Dr. Fate and Hawkman. They finally made their silver screen
The Justice
debut.
Society of America, the JSA.
Yeah, they looked so good.
Do they ever call
So
JSA
good.
in the movie?
I don't know if they said JSA, but they talk about the Justice Society.
Okay.
Yeah. We also have newer heroes like Cyclone and Atom Smasher.
Yes.
So it was a fun look into that. They brought up another issue with like superhero ethics. And so that was interesting. There were a few moments where I felt like the writers didn't really know what to do with certain characters. So
like
people
what?
just like towards the end, there's a few moments where people just stand there smiling. And it just felt like we ended up with like extra people.
You make it sound like there was people standing smiling there for a long time.
It happened more often than it should have. I don't know. It felt... But overall, I really, really enjoyed it. Great action scenes, great visual effects, interesting story, interesting characters, and a lot of good potential for more.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good adaptations. If you know the books, you're gonna notice something like, that doesn't make sense. But as the movie runs through the end, things will be explained, and it's like you know, and even the to be honest, some of the trailers, what the trailers say, once you start watching the movie, if you have a good memory and remember what to say on the trailer, I was like, wait a minute, that does not make sense. Anyways, besides that, it's action-packed.
Yeah.
It's intense. There's no dull moment in the movie. Great special effects. The Rock's been working on this for decades. And a little bit more. He finally made it. And he works as a Black Adam. Even though Black Adam is more like bad than ambiguous. Some people might discord, some people might disagree, but it feels like, you know, he's more like demonic than you know, between demons and angels. He's more demonic than something in the middle. He's definitely not an angel. And I don't know if it's acting or if it's the writing or a combination of both. It doesn't. They didn't try to make him bad. He made him ambiguous towards a hero, which I guess was their goal. And if it was their goal, you know, and he was member of Justice Society in many moments in the books. So yeah,
that was what I liked about how they wrapped it up. Even the way the post-credit scene wrapped it up, it was still pretty ambiguous. I could still see him going very dark.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely not like committed to like, oh, I made mistakes, but now I'm going to be a good guy. That's not the case at all.
Yeah.
I could definitely see him.
But there's a series called Black Rain, I think there's a called, where he takes some of the members of Justice Society, the young ones he could, like, you know, convince and and take him to free Kandak from a dictator that is in power. And that's the book, so there's not a spoiler. And at the end, once he does that, first he convinced the kids to go free Kandak, and because of good reasons. They have a dictator there. The people is always been oppressed in that place, and he's a freer, a savior. So he goes there, and once he does that, he starts aiming all the places in the world, to actually free those places. And there's the ethical dilemma between him and the Justice Society, that as heroes, you don't interfere. You act when is needed. Not, I mean, how is I'm trying to remember the phrase specifically they use, but it's not like you don't change things, but you help things as they are, more or less like that.
Yeah.
If there's a problem happening now, you go and help. But if there's no problem, you're not gonna go and fix it. It's not a passive role, but it's not as active as going and doing it.
Yeah.
So there's this whole dilemma, and at the end of the book, things happens, and he stays in Kandak, and as long as he stays in Kandak, nobody's gonna mess with him if he's gonna try to go to other places and invade or help other places. Justice Society, Justice League, the heroes will intervene. But he's loved by the people, and there's some elements of that in the show. But he's still, he almost had 2 feet. The line between good and evil. He's like his 2 feet there, or he's like have 2 feet on the good side, or 1 foot on the good side, and bends his entire body to the other side. Yeah.
Which I think is interesting, and I think that what you described in that comic book is basically like the ethical dilemma that they bring up in this one. So in like Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman, they bring up the issue of like all the the collateral damage that happens around these heroes, and they get into this in some of the Marvel movies too, like the people they inadvertently hurt and things like that. Yeah. Right. Yes, we have an accord. But yeah, so in this one they get into that issue of what's the line? Who do you help? Who do you not help? Anyway, and I thought they did a great job of that, and that was interesting. And yeah, I don't feel like I heard people describing Black Adam as an anti-hero, but I don't know that he is an anti-hero. He's just, we'll call him chaotic neutral for now, but this could go either way. Yeah. Something else I liked about it is I thought it really expanded it without making a big deal about it. It expanded a lot of the lore around the whole Shazam thing and the Council of Wizards and all this other stuff. So I feel like it made Shazam, like Captain Marvel, who is Shazam in the movies, it made all of that bigger.
Oh yeah.
Which was nice to see. People complain a lot about the DCEU not really being much of a universe or being connected, but this was in a really nice way.
Yeah. No, and it's definitely it definitely expands into the Marvel family. I mean Shazam family, which was the original champion, and he turns bad, and there's some differences that come as you see this one right away. But anyways, overall, it's as good as the populace, as you can see the numbers from audiences saying is that good. It's Rotten Tomatoes, and I think it's probably the only one, if not the biggest one, that gave like a very poor number rate. Yeah, that's all wrong. That's all baloney. And we see that from other things, It happens all the time. Rotten Tomatoes give a terrible review, and ends up being like really good. And when Rotten Tomatoes give like a great reviews, it ends up being mediocre. Like She-Hulk or Rings of Power. There's plenty of examples of that. But anyways.
At the end of the day, you just need to watch it for yourself. And if it's not your thing, that's fine.
Yeah.
If it is your thing, this is a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fun one.
Yeah, and it's definitely entertaining. The post-credit scene is all over the internet.
Yeah.
It's leaks. We're not gonna say here, but it's a surprise that
It was a good post-credit scene.
And expected. It wasn't even a surprise anymore.
Yeah.
But if you have your ears open, you're gonna hear some of the news down the road, and you're gonna understand some of what happened in the post-credit. Anyways, it's really good. I wanna say 60% of the post-credit is a TV ad, because it's Waller talking to him, and he's like, "You have my attention, Black Adam," and then he talks to her, and then something else happens. So most of it is already out on TV, on broadcast TV, on the web, on TV ads, trailers, etc. Overall, it was good. It was a good beginning for this
character,
for this character, and it's like we were talking about how being a villain or being a hero. Let me put it this way: he doing what he's doing against bad guys, right? He's not a bad guy, but he's doing what he's doing against a good guy. Isn't he the bad guy? Wasn't that Zod?
Yeah. Yes.
Doing for his people, for Krypton.
Yeah.
So again, it navigates to the whole. It's not as bad as some of the movies that make the bad guy look so bad guy against a hero. A bad guy looks so empathetic and so misunderstood that some people even take the side of the bad guy. This one is he's ambiguous. He's motivated by revenge and by hate, if you may. But he's fighting for his people against bad guys. But at the moment that comes a good guy, we'll see. Remains to be seen in the future films. It was a good start for the character. The movie is doing really good at the box office.
Yeah,
they did 60?
They had a $140 million opening.
Yeah.
So that was great, and that's actually Dwayne Johnson's biggest opening, like in a movie where he's the lead.
Yeah.
So and he totally deserves it.
Yeah, and it's well deserved.
He did say after the success of this and other things, some of us, well, especially after watching Young Rock, some of us were like, is he actually going to run for president? He did say he's not going to. A lot of people say that and then they do it anyway, but that's okay.
Yeah, if anything, I think
if he gives us more Black Adam movies, I'll let it go.
Yeah, I think if anything, I think going straight to president is a mistake. It has been a mistake for congressmen and senators. If anything, some of best presidents seem to be first being a governor, which is a similar position, an executive position, and talking about an actor running for president. The biggest example is Ronald Reagan. He was a governor of California.
That's true. But you could argue, if you want to talk about executive experience, Dwayne Johnson's managed to put together a massive entertainment business.
Oh, but that's not the same.
It's not the same as running a government, but he's running a massive business.
Yeah, but again, it was like when you own a company, you might answer to a board. When you run an executive position, you go into a House and a Senate, and I'm talking about state or president and all the red tape.
So you answer to a whole bunch of other people
and all the laws. Yeah, it's not like.
I'm just saying.
So a lot of people talk about.
We've done the same thing before.
Talk about people with great power, great business expertise, and it's when you own a company, and you were just talking about this. What's his bucket? Elon Musk just finalized the buying of Twitter, and he got there, and he fired the CEO, fired the CFO, fired the the head of legal. Anyways, he lost his head. And it's like the private sector has powers, it has capabilities that the government will block you to the point that the private initiative is able to create more, create better, create faster. What this rich dude has been doing in the last 10 years towards space is much more than the space program did in, because they not only have more money, but they don't have the red tapes and the chains that hold them back.
Sure, but it wouldn't be the first time that a celebrity businessman went straight to the Oval Office.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's not that far-fetched.
But I mean, yeah, I guess. And that's true.
Yeah. I think you're right about most of the stuff. It's not necessarily a good idea, but there's precedent.
That's true.
And, I don't know.
Yeah, and in the days we live, the media...
The bell's been rung.
That's true. In the days we live, that media create people. They create image of people.
Mm-hmm.
There was there was a slogan for Sprite when I was in Brazil. I don't know if it was here the same. There was like image translating was like, image is nothing. Thirst is everything. Oh, drink Sprite. So, but it's current president, they created this image of this nice, really old man, and that should save the country and should be the solution for all our problems, and it turns out in a disaster. So considering that it's all about image, yeah, sure, Dwayne Johnson has his image built.
We've had people with less experience.
He would have
serve. We've had people with the same amount of experience there. Like, just saying. Anyway, so we watched that. It was great. But we've been watching lots of other stuff this week.
Yes, we just got back from Amsterdam. We're not gonna dwell a lot on that, but it's a new. What's his bucket?
Oh, I don't even remember. This is
He directed Silver Lining Playbook. He directed American Hustle, among other things. He's a great director. Is another. How can I forget his name? Anyways, this is a gigantic cast. So I was not even gonna try to say everybody's names.
In fact, the poster for this film is just the title and then like the cast.
Yeah, that's it.
List. Oh, at least one of the posters I saw.
Okay, no, I didn't see that one. But it's a cool story set right after, at the end and right after World War One, and has ramifications toward World War Two.
Yeah.
And it's good. It has issues. It has some, for me personally, it has some time issues. I think they could shorten, but like there's definitely some
awkward pauses,
artistic things like the. Throw some art on your face there. I was like, oh yeah, that's cute, that's cool, that's cool. Let's move on, and they don't quite move on as fast as you wish, but it's good. Amsterdam is out there. It's
in theaters.
I'm gonna probably
worth a watch.
The guy as soon as
you
we
will
move.
As soon as we say cut, it'll be done. Okay, Rings of Power had a finale.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna delve into that the hot big Mount
but it didn't get better
of garbage. It ends at it started. It's a mediocre CW-ish, and I love CW shows, but this one is one that pretends to be more. They claim
don't understand.
that they're more. But it feels like a lot. The music, even the shots are so beautiful. But like the writing, it's and it ended just the same. And they changed drastic things from the original content, which is like you shouldn't.
Which makes no sense because they spent $250 million for the rights to that original content, only to tell a story that had nothing to do with the original content. I will say that I did start enjoying the show once I pretended that it was not Lord of the Rings. That it was just a coincidence that this is Galadriel and Elrond and Durin and all the rest.
Yeah, but even
then you can it was a little bit easier to enjoy. And then it was just like, oh, this isn't supposed to be grand epic fantasy. This is just a decent fantasy show.
Yeah, but it's such a waste. They spent so much money. And they could tell.
So much money.
The original goal was there's a couple of stories about Rings of Power. One was that they fired a guy that wanted to make a Conan the Barbarian show, and the person in charge fired him. It's like, no, we don't want that. So it's like, okay, fine. So he found a new job on this place called Home Box Office, HBO, and he was hired to do House of the Dragon. And if you see House of the Dragon, it's like it swallows you. It's so well made. It's so compelling writing, photography, acting. The actors on this thing.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways.
These people are acting up a storm. Like if they don't get nominated for all the awards.
There's some with some certain exceptions. They're not like highly famous, highly worked people. There's a lot of new people. But the way they do things is like suspense of disbelief, and that's like, and there's a difference from the book and from the show. So the guy Amazon Fire did this. Anyways, another quick story is that from Rings of Power, the original goal was Bezos and his power, money, and decision. He wanted to do and his people wanted to do a Aragorn show. So the Adventures of Aragorn. And because Aragorn is a Dunedain and they live like a long life, they could do so much.
Oh my gosh, we could have had Aragorn in that battle with Theoden's grandfather.
Yes.
Yeah. Right? That would have been cool.
Yeah.
That would have been real good.
And maybe if that they could get Peter Jackson or not, but if they had Aragorn, they could expand the story of Aragorn, the unknown story of Aragorn. Yeah. Instead, they decided to
his courtship with Arwen.
Expand into known characters doing stuff that is known that they didn't do it. So it's what if it's what DC calls Elseworlds. It's fanfic.
It's fanfic. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it's over. The next season is coming. Who knows when? Nobody's in a hurry. Yeah.
But it's happening. So House of the Dragon is everything that Rings of Power wasn't, like we've already said. The finale brought in 9.3 million viewers. This is between streaming and people watching like the actual broadcast, or during the airings on, This is the biggest audience they've had since the Game of Thrones finale, and they deserved every second of it. The heart-shattering news is that season 2 is not coming until 2024. Yeah. So, they're taking their time on it, but I really needed it.
We can only hope that as they work on season 2, they do season 2 and 3 back to back. So I don't know. Season 2 will be beginning of 2024, and season
hopefully
3 the end of 2024.
Yeah,
we don't know, but it's definitely good. Talking about a long wait, George Martin said he's almost done with the Winds of Winter. Is that it called?
That sounds right.
Yeah, the last book of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and we totally believe him. Just like we believe the host at that Chinese restaurant in Seinfeld, who's like 5-10 minutes. It's like, yeah. That sounds good, George. Okay, the finale for She-Hulk was a major letdown.
Just one quick thing.
Oh, yeah.
How's the Dragon and Rings of Power? Decision of putting out a good thing or moving on and doing again or doing something else. We know the DC canceled Batgirl. It's like, nope, this is never gonna see the light of day. But HBO ordered another Game of Thrones show, and I can't remember if they shot the pilot or if they got close to shoot the pilot.
They did shoot a pilot, I think.
Okay. Yeah. And they decided I'm not gonna do this. And then they did House of Dragon. They did terrific. So, curating is that what's
I would say curating.
Curating, what you're putting out. It's not because it's like you had the money, you made it sucked. You're gonna put out like Rings of Power. You get the audiences like what it's 47% of the audiences are like it. I mean, I guess if you're happy with 47% instead of getting close to 100%. Again, I guess that's how you curate. It's like at least someone like it.
Yeah. Well, quality over quantity.
It's like this scene on Despicable Me. Gru is talking to Dr. Nefario. I can't remember what they're talking specifically, but Gru tells him, like, Dr. Nefario, not because everybody hates doesn't mean it's good. Doesn't mean it isn't good. It's like, so, anyway.
It kind of does. And I think this quality over quantity became an issue with She-Hulk. I have to say, I enjoyed the whole show. It was fun. It was, escapist and enjoyable and everything. Light, funny. And then the finale was such a huge letdown. And to make it worse, she gives this whole speech about how she's going to make the finale better. But, it just wasn't. Yeah. The best part was portraying Kevin Feige as an AI. And I thought, that actually, like an algorithm that's making decisions about the MCU. I thought, no, that actually makes sense. That explains a lot.
And controls the scores.
Yes.
Ratings. Yeah.
And makes decisions based off of ratings and not like art and storytelling. Yeah.
Among the many memes, someone memed a scene from Deadpool in the Christmas version, which is called, I can't remember what's it called. But it's Deadpool 2. Mm-hmm. There's R, is heavy R. And they made a PG-13 version of it, which was really, really fun. Mm-hmm. And is Fred Savage from
Wonder Years and Princess Bride.
Mm-hmm. He kidnaps him and ties him to the bed and tells him the story.
Yeah.
And some of the jokes that Deadpool makes is, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And then Fred Savage says, so you complaining that your movie is bad to masquerade that is actually bad.
Yeah.
That was She-Hulk.
Yeah. Only She-Hulk was actually that finale was actually terrible.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's what we've been watching.
Amazon Prime, Rings of Power. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a life, you have nothing to do. House of the Dragon, highly recommended.
Yep.
And on HBO Max, HBO, and She-Hulk is on Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. And what else?
Okay, we have a whole section dedicated to crime this week.
Oh, we did finish The Patient.
Oh,
and
right.
And quick thing about The Patient, I don't want to spoil because someone didn't see it.
Yeah.
The tragic, dramatic, plot twisting, crazy ending. It was,
okay.
It was good. I mean, I guess we're gonna have to see, but it's definitely the show is tough to watch, not because the content, but because the pace is. There
were a couple episodes where it got real slow.
Yeah, and it's heavy on the. I don't know if we are not Jewish. I'm not Jewish, but I wonder if some of the Jewish content on the show would resonate more toward Jewish audiences. And if that's the case, it would help the fact that the pace kind of drags in some moment. But it ended in a very interesting way. We do recommend.
Okay. Cool. That's on
Hulu.
Yes. Okay. So
and FX Hulu. So his next day is on FX. It was on FX on one night, and then next night is on Hulu.
Okay. Worth a watch.
Okay.
All right. So the crime: Kevin Spacey was found not liable in the Anthony Rapp assault claims.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing because it just really seems like he did it. But
there's something about, I don't know, did I put it there? Oh yeah.
Partial dismissal.
Yeah, there's something about, I think that case was here, but there's a case in Britain, and he has less chances in Britain, so he's not completely out or forgotten. And he's like, I did something terrible, and then he's like, but I'm gay. He's like, no, he can't.
That was oh my gosh. Even as like a cis hetero, pretty conservative woman, I was like, don't you dare. Absolutely not, sir. Absolutely not.
Anyways,
that was so bad. Meanwhile, the whole Alec Baldwin shooting on the set of Rust, there was a settlement with the family, like for a wrongful death lawsuit, I think. But the district attorney is still going for criminal charges.
Yes, it didn't go yet. The sheriff just gave them the papers, but it didn't go yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still going.
Yeah. Quote, no one is above the law.
Yeah. Which is only right.
Yep. Okay, and then let's just have a chat about Ezra Miller, shall we?
Ezra Miller.
What's going on with this boy?
First, he returned for reshoots, signaling that W would stick with the actor for this movie.
Yeah.
But they pretty much guaranteed that he would not come for the next ones. And it would be nice if, it's like, it's bold, but it would be nice if at the end, something happens, a la Doctor Who. And we have another one. In this case, it would be the same character, different actor, and you could have there's science fiction explanations for changing. I mean, again, like Doctor Who, but I guess
Barry does die in the comic. Like, there's plenty of comic book reasons for him to just actually die.
Yeah,
but to bring in other flashes.
Yeah, but dealing with
like
movies, I don't think they want to kill the character.
I guess.
On the first movie.
Yeah.
Because they could bring Wally. They could bring there's the black Wally. So there's two Wallys. They could bring who else? Jay. I don't know. There's so many Flash and Flash family characters. Bart.
There's options.
But what else about Ezra Miller?
Well, even so, he's doing reshoots, but he's done. Okay, he did reshoots. He also pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of felony burglary. He could be facing 26 years.
Yeah, so either way, WB was like, they're gonna have to hear cash.
Yeah, and so it brings up this whole issue of like accountability in Hollywood. But at the end of the day, I really want to see this movie, and anyway, we'll just see how that goes.
Last one about crime. Harvey Weinstein is going to the trials, and some crazy stuff is coming out of the court. One, his lawyers, his attorneys are going like really hard and heavy against the witnesses. They basically shifting the blame, they blaming on them. So in so many ways, so terrible ways. Another one that came out was that he was like sitting and staring at the jury.
Which is a really weird idea, because honestly, if I was sitting on that jury, I'd be like, well, that's hella creepy.
Yeah, he was asked.
Guilty much?
He was asked to move.
Yeah.
And he did, but then he moved back and stared. And then there was a witness. Witness was dismissed, and it's this whole mess. Hollywood and their messes. This is only another one.
Yeah, and mega wealthy people getting off on crimes that they probably committed. Anyways, we already talked about Elon Musk buying Twitter, firing all the executives. He changed his Twitter bio to Chief Twit. And I think a lot of people appreciate that for a lot of different reasons.
Chief Twit?
Yeah.
I think he should. He's a Lord of the Rings fan. He should go for the Twitch King.
The Twitch King.
Yeah.
The Twitch King of Angmar. Kanye West, who says he's thinking about buying Parler. Yeah. I feel like he needs to just chill out for a while.
Yeah.
Just disappear until
because
someone needs to take away the shovel, because he's just digging himself deeper and deeper. And
he's got in trouble for his anti-Semitic affirmations, tweets.
Yeah.
So he lost contracts with Adidas, with I can't remember the other
Balenciaga. A lot of his big.
Yeah. So he lost a lot of money. So this was before that. So I don't think.
So maybe not anymore.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad when even Parler's like, dude, you're too controversial.
No, it's not. It's not that. It's the fact that he's losing so much money that I don't think he
even could if he wanted to. Spend. It's not good. Anyway, yeah, he needs to go off grid for a while. Okay, let's go to Marvel. Bad news, good news.
But he's a very interesting character. I saw him on interview, a piece of interview, isn't the whole thing. But he was saying that I only perform for an audience of one, and that's God. I was like, oh, okay. He does runs. No, what's it called? Services. He does. Is that what it called?
Well, I need
Minister.
more.
He does minister services too. It's like a very very interesting
Yeah.
person. So it's like, anyways, moving on.
Interesting doesn't mean he should be a public figure that we pay attention to.
Yeah.
Though.
No. I
Like-
honestly don't know him. What his actually work is. His music. He does have a school. Oh, this was something
Nope,
about.
school closed.
Is it closed?
They're closing it, yeah.
Oh, because I heard the school was out of a league, but I guess it closes out of the league anyways.
Yeah. Turns out when your
Yeah.
very well-known founder goes on an anti-Semitic rant.
Yeah, in that case, I don't know. They could find a buyer,
For
an
school?
anonymous buyer.
Yeah, for that well-known profit-producing industry.
I don't know. I don't want a
Yeah.
school.
Well, yeah, it's not, education's not, well, anyway, anything else about Yay?
Oh yeah, it's like I kind of got like all of the new. I mean, I don't follow him, but because he pops into entertainment and all
Yeah.
that, he changed his name. When did that happen?
It's been a little while, it's been a few months
Okay.
that he switched to Yay, but now, like, nobody calls him that because who knows who Yay is? We're like, Yay, formerly known as Kanye West. It's like when Prince changed his name to a symbol.
To a symbol,
We're
yeah.
still calling you Prince because
I don't know. It's for Prince definitely not, but for Ye it could be. There's some legalities and some laws like
Sure,
that he
sure.
changing the name. It kind of helps you.
Yeah,
And
it
anyways,
could be, but
yeah, I
anyway.
don't know.
All right, so that's all happening. Okay, Marvel, they've delayed a few projects, like Blade production stopped.
Yeah, and because Blade stopped, the whole schedule is messed up and changed. But
Yeah.
the director left, and the actor was complaining. This is one of those big messes that we don't know much about because, Disney with their Kevin and their money power, they keep things under wraps. Even we never know what they expect and what happens and if they got what they want. If not, like for instance, Wakanda Forever was on the news just now. I don't know if I put it there. That they expecting a hit. They don't expecting not a hit, but they don't expect to be as good as they initially expected. So, but again, we don't know what they're aiming for, and a big company would aim for big roofs, but if it gets a little bit less, and they definitely have a good damage control that they wrapped and they in the end even the mediocre products get big attention, get even some good ratings from the so-called specialized media. But
Okay.
so
that's them. But there's lots of good news. First, we saw trailers for Ant-Man 3 and the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, both of which look delightful.
yeah, it looked good, interesting. Ant-Man's gonna get out of Earth, so it's good.
Yep.
Even though there's like a couple of scenes and memes comparing to Spy Kids because they basically wearing the same collars and
Sure.
doing some of the same. Anyways,
Sure.
but
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
the big bad guy, the new big bad guy of Marvel is showing up and speaking. So he's gonna be actively active from day one.
Yes.
Even though because of the
It's the
multiverse,
most active kind of active.
even though because of the multiverse, not necessarily is the King Conqueror you're gonna see down the road. Maybe they're gonna
Yeah,
do
this seems like a different
like
one.
other comic book movies and kill this one right away, and then the hero celebrating. Oh, he's
Yeah.
dead. We won. And then like
post-credit.
17 other offhams like, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few options there. The Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special looks exactly what you'd expect. Goofy,
Yeah.
heartwarming, holiday.
But we'll have B artist singing because if it don't have B artist singing, I'm not sure it's gonna be worth of the holiday
a
special.
holiday special.
Yeah.
They're considering Tom Ellis. This is rumors, but I like this rumor, so we'll report it. Tom Ellis is being considered for Reed Richards.
Yes.
He's going to need to work on his American accent. Or we could just lean
Yes.
into him being British. I'm good either way.
I hope not.
Okay. Mephisto might be making an MCU debut.
Sasha. That's what Sasha means.
Good job.
Sasha. On my notes I put Sasha, and I was like,
could not figure it out.
Sasha Baron Cohen would be Mephisto, and he's devious, and I think it would work.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I don't know the character at all.
He's not a bad actor. He's the devil, so.
Well, no.
And he's very devilish. He makes a quick fact. He makes a deal with Spider-Man, and the thing that happened in Doctor Strange, not Doctor Strange, in Spider-Man No Way Home, that he's erased. Peter Parker is erased from everybody's memories. That happens in one more day. I think it's called One More Day. Comic book saga. He makes a pact with Mephisto. I can't remember if to save someone's life. Yeah, and so everybody forgets it. I thought it was the most stupid. I mean, come on. I hated it, but yeah.
Okay. Well, we might finally get Mephisto after years of speculating.
We like again.
Who knows?
Maybe he's here all this time.
Well, one thing we do know we're gonna get
I was like, maybe he's Kevin Feige. That's not good. Yeah.
It was Mephisto all along. Captain America New World Order is going to include the character General Thunderbolt Ross. And Alex, who is playing General Ross?
Oh, General Han Solo. Yes, Harrison Ford.
Oh, yes.
And William Hurt was terrific in the role, but now I have Harrison Ford, so it was some big shoes to fit, but definitely we found someone with big foot.
Yes. I cannot comment on the size of his feet, but I
don't know.
Have never been upset about saying Harrison Ford ever. Yeah. Not ever. Cool. Okay, let's go over to Disney. Doctor Who is coming to Disney Plus.
Yes.
Which is great news for those of us who are big fans and are way behind.
And also for the new fans that wanted to watch start watching.
Yes. Like
I assume they're gonna bring all the seasons, and that would be a really nice way to start.
It would. I'm guessing. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna speculate that they're just starting with Christopher Eccleston.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not dreaming that they're gonna.
Yeah, that they're gonna bring all the old stuff.
Even BBC does, so you know.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bonkers.
I don't know. Maybe they're streaming service they had.
I don't know. But I think there's some stuff that was even lost.
Oh yeah, in that case, it's
But yeah, it's just don't even dream of watching all of it.
When we deal with old television, you have to consider that the farther back you go, they used to do things on film. So
yes,
and things degraded, it loses quality. Also, film silver nitrate. This involved the film caused several fires in several TV stations and companies throughout the world, and a lot was lost.
Well, we're not going to spoil anything, but whatever Doctor Who content they have on Disney Plus, catch up on it, because big, exciting, mind-blowing things are happening in that universe.
14th Doctor was revealed.
And it's not who they announced. Yeah. It's not in Kitagawa, although he is coming as 15th.
Yeah. But how long is it going to be 14th realm?
You never know. Yeah. You never know. Some of them are for a movie.
It's definitely an interesting move. And it will bring new fans and bring old fans that might left for the last seasons. And
we shall see. All right, Star Wars. What have we learned about the next Star Wars trilogy, which everyone's totally asking for?
I'll start with the good news first. We started, Endor is doing really well.
Yes.
It's doing really good.
So good.
It has issues, but so far it's working. It's good.
Yeah, it's not like Book of Boba Fett issues. Like, I genuinely enjoy this.
No.
And they are truly and beautifully expanding and like giving more content and enriching and building out the world. So I'm here for it.
No, it's good. I mean, it's expanding. It's still like a shy expansion, because they could make a show. They could make the whole Ender show with a new character. It didn't have to be Ender.
Sure, it didn't have to be Ender. But it's nice to give us like a starting point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But so It's kind of like a thing that you do to yourself. It's like you make your work harder, because you have to fit him into a future, and so
Not really.
you
We know when he
create.
dies.
No, but we know the character on Rogue One,
Yeah.
so you limit things that you can do to the character, because the character has to end like that, and it's a one
guess so.
season. One season show. So, but anyways, they could do it with a completely new character, and the show will still be good. So it has some issues, but so far it's doing good. Tales of the Jedi started pretty strong with the birth of Ahsoka Tano, and so those are the good news. The bad news, I mean, who knows? Good or bad. Demon in the Loft, there was a co-creator for Lost was announced to take care of a new trilogy.
Yep.
And new movie, not new trilogy, right?
Oh yeah, it does say movie.
Movie that will take place after episode 9, following up on those characters.
I mean, who knows? After, it could be a long time after.
Rey,
This seems like a movie
Skywalker.
that precisely nobody is asking for.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Meanwhile, apparently the Ryan Johnson trilogy that takes place, Knights of the Republic, who knows? That one wasn't canceled yet. So Rogue Squadron was suspended, was canceled. It was getting out of the slot.
That's the Patty Jenkins.
But Kathleen Kennedy, I didn't put that one there.
You did. Disney wants her
to stop announcing movies prematurely.
Yeah.
So
I would
shut
be okay.
up, Kathleen. We're not gonna do this yet.
Yeah, and like maybe just stop announcing movies. Like we talked earlier in the show today about quality versus quantity.
Yeah.
And like maybe we don't, like, as much as I'm loving Andor and I'm excited about Ahsoka and all this other stuff, like maybe just tone it down and wait until you have something really good.
Yeah. You don't make any money for announce. I mean, I guess you might increase expectations and the value of the company's stock market goes up and stuff like that. But it would be nice if they just wouldn't announce like 2-3 years ahead, and just you go to see a movie this summer and you see a trailer for this movie or show that is coming on the fall.
Yeah.
That would not stop people from watching. I don't know.
If anything, I don't know. It would take away the fatigue. Like, I feel like there's a lot of Marvel and Star Wars fatigue. They're like, oh, we've got a new one coming. It's like, oh my gosh. It's just getting boring. Anyways, let's talk about DC. DC has some fun, big news. They finally have a new head to their superhero division.
Two heads. It's
Yeah.
a creature of two heads. It's Peter Safran and James Gunn. David Zaslav announced that they're going to take care of the superhero division of, DC Studios.
Yes, and also, very exciting, delightful news. Henry Cavill is back as Superman, which means we get more Superman, and it is going to be Henry Cavill, and that just sets a lot of things right in the world.
Yeah, and he said he posted that on Instagram, and he said other things. He's really excited. It's a very important moment for him. He's really glad that people were patient, and that he was patient, but it's happening. And he said that all this happening now is only the beginning.
Yeah, they're talking about a sequel to Man of Steel. So that would be another Superman solo movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, only the beginning.
And they've also said that Wonder Woman 3 will not be the end of
Good.
that. Yeah.
It should do more. It's like Marvel stopped into 3-ish, 4-ish in the case of Thor, but there's no reason to. It's like those characters, they have so much to tell. And that's some problem why some stuff I don't know, like between Ragnarok and Days of Thunder. Is that called? No, it's Love and Thunder. They kind of fail. They kind of limit themselves into in Ragnarok to destroy Asgard, and it's like they killing the source of stories, limitless.
Yeah, they're like
source of
cutting
stories
out storylines
for the characters, and they hold them down to. Expanding but not really expanding is a very interesting case.
Well, let's move on to Fox. We've been watching a great documentary called Welcome to Wrexham that's on FX on Hulu. This is about Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney buying the football club. And anyway, it's
in
delightful.
Wrexham, England.
Wales.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Get it right, sir.
Wales.
They're different countries. They explained it in the documentary.
Yes, yeah.
Anyway, so they've created this unlikely and delightful partnership, and now Ryan Reynolds says he wants to play Mac's boyfriend on It's Always Sunny. And now I really want that too.
That would be funny.
And like no one believing him, and Dee being just like losing her mind.
Why?
Because Weirdo Mac has this super hot boyfriend, and she's perpetually single.
But it's okay, yeah. But it wouldn't be Ryan Reynolds. It would be just handsome guy.
Right.
A free guy.
Yes.
See what you
Not free anymore. He's Big Mac.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just think that would be delightful.
That'll be cool. That'll be awesome.
So let's all root for that.
Yeah. And at this point, he didn't have to. He has this go gay things like, yes, he is, and he finally. Oh, I think I am. And he came out.
Yeah.
And they have the whole like dance sequence, and they joke about it. He jokes about it, but he doesn't have a relationship. But again, none of them have. It's like Seinfeld. They have relationships. The last one episode.
Yeah.
Tops, and
because
some
they're
recurring
severely
characters.
dysfunctional people.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So that will be delightful. Let's talk about Netflix for a bit. They've got a lot going on.
Guillermo del Toro, the Cabinet of Curiosities trailer arrived. We did see...
The show arrived.
Yeah, the show arrived.
Yeah, it's available now.
We did see, it looks like creepy and weird, like Guillermo del Toro, all in those.
Yep. Yeah. So I look forward to that.
Knives Out, also for Netflix, going to have a 1 week run in theaters for Thanksgiving. And you say what you make by about Ryan Johnson, how his job in Star Wars sucked, and it sucked. It was garbage, it was terrible. But what he did in some of his movies, including Knives Out, it wasn't bad. So this one,
I really liked Knives Out.
good.
I'm optimistic about this sequel.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you want to see it in the theater, you can do it over the holidays. And then their new series Blockbuster is opening up November 3rd.
Yeah, it says about a Blockbuster store. Looks interesting. Has a funny cast. Melissa Fumera from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. What's the name of the Asian guy?
Ronald. Is it Ronald?
Park. Park. Randall Park.
Randall Park. There
Randall
it is.
Park.
Whew, that was embarrassing.
From The Office. Anyways.
And several other things. Yes, well known for Jim Halpert. His role as Jim Halpert. Yeah.
But he was actually in The Office. He was on one episode. It's not only the joke. He was actually.
Yeah. Okay, over to HBO. Not a lot. Oh, well, there's a lot going on there. They've had a great time. But Alan Moore came out to say that he hates Watchmen.
Yeah, don't call me again, he said. Which is not news. He's very peculiar. He's very criterious. I don't want to say
critical.
He's critical about his work. So when people come and adapt and he doesn't like, and he said that multiple times.
Yeah.
He got his name, and to the point that he got his name, don't put my name on the credits. I don't care. And so the only other co-author got the name on the credits.
Yeah.
So he didn't like it, and he's it's his,
which is interesting because I feel like
and which is
it's just not often that authors come out and say that. They're either silent or positive about it. I feel like.
And the positive, we know why they're positive, right? When ching 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 ching,
or maybe they actually like, I don't know.
Anyways, I mean, especially some lately ones that have like drastic changes. We know there's like, these people that
we can speculate.
People that create, like work hard to create something, they finally create, and then something out of the blue, let's change it. Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, it's not news. He hates everything they made because and you might have some reasons. His job is so good that even the slightest change might piss him off. And if you see his picture, you don't want to piss him, that guy.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, Peacock. The Community movie is coming, and they're bringing back a ton of that original cast, including Joel McHale, Danny Pudi, Alison Brie, Jillian Jacobs, Jim Rash, and Ken Jeong.
Yeah, Glover, Donald Glover, and Yvette Brown are not coming back. There was a table read, and Joe McHale like cried like a little baby, and afterwards said, it's like a family reunion, like those family reunions, but without those a-holes that come." I almost ask myself, "Oh, so he's not coming?"
I know he played such a sarcastic. Like douchebag in that show that it's whenever he's sincere like that.
I don't think he acts. I think that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you hear a story like this that he's getting emotional and crying about like being back with his pals.
Oh, but even jerks have emotions.
I guess, but that's a really sweet, like non-selfish emotion.
Well, I'm not sure if it's not selfish. It's like I'm back, witches.
I don't know. It's just still really like confusing when he's like being sincere about it. What? You're joking, right? Anyway. Okay, and then over at Paramount, they're working on a couple of like sequel reboots. First, Frasier sequel is with Kelsey Grammer, has been greenlit. And last but not least, a Naked Gun reboot is in the works.
By the guys from The Lonely Island, his bucket. I didn't put his name. Okay.
But it's Andy Samberg, right?
Akiva, no, it's one of them.
Oh, just one of them.
It's not. Akiva, I'm not gonna say any names because I'm probably gonna get it wrong. And they want Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Which was always a joke for me in Brazil. And American names, American actors. You have Leslie Nielsen from Naked Gun, and you have Liam Neeson from everything Liam Neeson does. So people say, "Oh, let's watch that great movie with Liam Neeson." It's like, the guy from Airplane? Like, no. It's like so.
But that's what's weird to me about this.
I wonder if it's that. I wonder if they're casting him just because of the name.
Just because of that.
Yeah.
I think
Leslie Nielsen will be involved. So, yeah. Is he alive? I guess he is, because I just said he's going to be involved.
Yeah,
so
well, presumably.
Now he has to be
still
alive.
Around. Yeah. I wasn't, like, normally this is the kind of thing, like, we don't need this. Like, the first one is so perfect. We don't need it. But then they throw out...
What about the second one? And the third one?
It's decent. Sequels aren't always necessary. Quality over quantity, people. But the fact that bringing Liam Neeson, of all people, to be in a, like, spoofy comedy, like, it makes no sense.
But that's why it's so funny.
That's why I'm intrigued by it. Like, they got my attention. Lonely Island, Liam Neeson, like, this makes no sense. So, absolutely, I will check it out.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all we got.
That's it? You were told to the list?
Yeah, well, we had to skip some, because we're at 57 minutes.
What was the last thing on the list?
The last thing was the Mario trailer.
Oh, yeah. There's the Mario trailer. It's really good. I mean, it looks really beautiful. Why is it controversial?
There have been a lot of feelings about Chris Pratt.
Oh, yeah. Because he's Chris Pratt.
Because it's not the Mario voice.
He's not doing it. Yeah, he's not doing a voice.
He's doing an accent, but not a voice.
But he's doing an accent?
But it's like a Brooklyn accent. It's not an Italian accent.
Well, that's where Mario is. But it looks good. It looks very, very nice. It has the trailer has like the bad guy.
Oh yeah.
And then Mario and the Mush was very colorful. I hope it does well. Sonic did terrific. So now it's time for our favorite plumber. Anyways, that's it for this week. We come back next week with more pop culture news, entertainment, movies, television, video games. Oh, I got the new Gotham Knights. I'm gonna play and tell you.
We'll have things to say about that.
Yeah, and that's it. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.